Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I'm bringing you guys a deck profile that I mean, it's been a while, and honestly, like, this deck profile, I really wish I could be giving you guys a profile that did a little bit better today, but honestly, it was too cool and too funny to not show you guys and tell you guys about, and honestly, like, I have to give you guys just a little bit of, like, background context for today and, like, with this deck. But I'm going to try and keep the yapping to, like, a bit of a minimum about it, just because I really want to, like, jump into this deck. So I had really no plans to enter the premiere that happened today. As of right now, I am recording it right after the Saturday, April 4th premiere, and I had no expectations to enter today's premiere. And honestly, because I had no deck that was ready for it, I had no idea what this meta was going to be like. The ban list happened at the beginning of the week, and this whole week was kind of like a bit of a blur. And going into this week, I said, you know what? Teammate of mine really was looking to get some practice. I had nothing really prepared, and I said, you know what, I think I can get something prepared. I tried to alter one of my decks that I was, like, somewhat confident I can alter and be, like, decently confident in. It did semi-okay, and I said, you know what, this could be really funny. Like, let me just kind of see how it goes. And then when they announced, like, the rest of the, like, EOP3 cards, which I just released the video for that today, actually, like, earlier today. I had recorded it yesterday, hoping to have gotten it out yesterday, but, you know me, I'm always late. They had released in that pack, spoilers if you have not seen that video, Gorgon's Gaze, and there's no amount of Gorgon's Gaze hollow treatments that I wouldn't want to hunt for. Like, that card is beautiful, that art is, like, and you can go check that out on collect.alestrals.com. And I mean, I'll even, if I remember, because I also edit these videos myself, which is why I never can make these videos as consistent as I'd like, but it's just, I'll try and remember to put a picture of it up if I can, but it's just a beautiful card. And so I said, you know what, I kind of have to run with this deck. And so I put this deck together. I had no idea what I'd do for the sideboard, and kind of after a locals, I said, you know what, I have this hilarious idea for a sideboard. Sideboard kind of threw the sideboard together. Sideboard you'll see in a minute. And oh my god, the sideboard, everything kind of came together. It was kind of a hilarious, diabolical mashup of everything. And it literally just says, if I pop off, I pop off. If I don't pop off, you know, it's Hermes, because it's a Hermes deck. And let's be real. My record of 1-3 drop says so. But in the testing that I had done leading up to today, I mean, I didn't see anything that I had seen today. I literally saw all of what I should have seen, which was all the popping off that I would normally see, like, all the combos, all of the not issues. Like, you'll see when you see the list, the 2 drops, even the 3 drops that I have in the deck. Like, I didn't see any of those issues in the testing that I saw leading up to today. So when everyone was like, you know, you're going to see a lot of that going into today, like, why are you doing this? I'm like, statistically, I'm not going to see that consistently. I did see that, ironically, almost consistently every game. And I'm just like, man, that's just my luck. That I'm just like, that's just how it goes. But honestly though, my goals for today was have fun, throw people off their game, and pop off. And I succeeded with that. And the fact that, like, the way that this deck was able to pop off as much as it did, I had to make a video on it. Even though it didn't do as well as it did, I think with a minor amount of tweaking and like a minor amount of optimization, I think it has potential to do phenomenally well, even with the unconventional way that it's built. So let's just hop right into it. So I'm gonna leave this sideboard hidden. Yeah, normally I'd have it face up so that you guys could see it, but I'm gonna leave it hidden for now. I think it's really funny to, you know, kind of let it stay a mystery for you guys. But for the main deck, we're gonna go 3 Spine-Nymph, 2 Spinosect. Honestly, Spinosect was a 50-50. Today, it didn't really do all that much for me. Leading up to today, it also really didn't do all that much. On the one day that I had originally built this deck, I didn't even have Spinosect. I actually built this deck without Spinosect in it because I couldn't find it. And I think going more into this, I'm 50-50 on it. I know Spinosect should be in here, but I was like, okay, it really didn't see that much play, nor did it really see, like, I didn't see that much of a need for me to ever go into Spinosect. So part of me just is like, if I want to commit to this bit, I'm not upset with cutting it for, like, more 1-drops. Like, it is one of those few cards where I'm just like, okay, I'm okay with cutting it. Especially for the bit, and you'll see. 3 Cockadoodle Champ, and then 1 Dracodoodle Champ. This is one of the few parts of this deck that is the bit. It is one of my favorite ways to run Hermes, in my opinion. Just the Cockadoodle Dracodoodle. I love this little engine. I love this combo. Normally, I would want to run more birds, more Cockadoodles, more, not really more Dracodoodles. I do have a stellar regular Dracodoodle. I want to try and build a deck with it. I normally would have it in here, but for the sake of what this deck is, I couldn't find a way to put it in the deck. But I had to minimize this package just to this little engine here, and that's kind of where I feel like this might have been mitigated a little bit. However, you know, we are okay with it. But yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the Hermes package just in general. I love the Dracodoodle. So pretty much when Cockadoodle is sent to Underworld, you're able to special cast Dracodoodle out from the Underworld with 2 wind, and just having that graveyard recursion at any point in time, whether Cockadoodle sent by discarding it, milling it, ascending, however, if it's destroyed by battle, card effect, you misenchant it, you under-enchant it, like, doesn't matter. As long as it goes to the Underworld and the Dracos in Underworld, it gets summoned out. So I love it. I love this bird. I love Graveyard Recursion. If anyone knows me through my years playing Vanguard, Grand Blue is a Graveyard Toolbox deck, and Graveyard Toolbox is my favorite way to play. Next up is the next part of the bit. A 3/1/1 of the Hydrake Twindra Pantera line. And I had to get the A-Drive signed Pantera. Yes. Sadly, I think what's funny is I think this Pantera was for my friend, and I just have yet to be able to give this to my friend. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to just play it with it today. And I did end up hard casting it, and hard casting it was the reason I think I ended up winning a game. But yeah, the next part of the bit is a 3/1/1 of Navi Doppelganger Fulgorix. This was actually the original part of the bit. My deck was a Dracodoodle Fulgorix deck. I love Dracodoodle, I love Fulgorix. I originally was not playing Pent at all. So the whole idea of putting Pent in this deck was because I was trying to find cards to throw into the deck that could replace and make space for the Aviolith. And I was like, okay, I have 2 spots for Aviolith. I think I had a throwaway spot because I had an Exaltair in here because I was trying to find ways to Nexus for the Doppelgator. And again, I just could not find Spinosect because I originally had this as a Spirit Slinger deck. And as you guys saw from my Spirit Slinging version of this deck, I only had 2 Spinosects. So, or Spinimps. I only had 2 Spinimps. So, like, just seeing from the Spirit Slinging version of this deck to this version, there is a big difference. So I did have some extra room, and legitimately, like, from that extra room, I said I had some spots for Pentar, and I just kind of rolled with it. The last little bits of this deck's Celestial lineup was 1 Carry-On champ, 1 Aviolith champ, and then 1 Carry-Off champ. Honestly, this lineup here is like, what, 22 Celestials? It's not terrible, not bad. I probably, in the future, like, I've been saying it probably all day, I have a couple ideas on how I would alter it a bit, how I'd change it up a bit. I'm 50-50 on the Spinosects. I'm not sure how I'm liking it, how I don't like it. It's definitely useful, but at the same time, the use of the Spinosect is just... I think the one time I ended up actually playing Spinosect, I didn't even use it for the bounce effect. I just had it as, oh, I just go into it because of big body. But it then got outed the next turn, so it didn't matter. But I could have gone into something else that was equally as useful. So, again, I think just... I'm a 50-50. Like, this could have been another 1-drop that I originally was happy to play, and people were like, no, you need Spinosect. And I'm just like, okay, Spinosect, okay. So, hey, I went into today with 0 expectations, and I got the pop off at least 5 times out of my, like, I think 10 games or whatever. Like, I don't even know how many games I had today, but I got the pop off at least 5 or so, like 5 to 6 times today. And all the times I got the pop off, it was super fun. Going into the rune half of this, it is a pretty, like, straightforward 3 Hermes, 3 Trickery, 3 Rise. Let me put the Rise here. And then 3 Gorgons, 2 Ambrosia, 2 Shield, and then 2 Achilles. 2 Altera Stars. Honestly, I'm also kind of 50-50 on this, just off of the fact that Hermes Trickery is my least favorite card in the Hermes package. Shoot me, it's fine. I don't, you can shoot the messenger, it's fine. I don't like it. I despise the card with a burning passion. I think it's a dead card a lot of the times. I usually never have the proper cards in Underworld to use it, and a lot of the times the decks that I am building with Hermes do not allow me to play Trickery. The irony is I'm playing Hermes in a specific way that is ironically counterintuitive to Trickery. And people, most of the time, don't realize that that is how I am playing Hermes. And whenever I say I'm not a fan of Hermes Trickery because of the way that I am building Hermes, they're always saying, you're building Hermes wrong. And I'm just like, am I building Hermes wrong? Or is it just that, like, the way in which that I am just trying to build this deck is just like, you know, it doesn't, like, the playstyle in which I am playing just does not meld with trickery. I don't need trickery sometimes. Like, it literally is just like the way in which you use trickery sometimes just is not as necessary. But yes, I will agree, like, there were times where trickery was needed, but it wasn't as helpful. I feel like it being at 3 was definitely a hindrance. In an older version of this deck, I did have it at 2. I had a P box in here. I actually had 2 P boxes, but I think I also couldn't have space because I didn't have a carry-on. So I think I took the 2 P boxes out for the carry-on and the 3rd trickery. So, you know, it's a give and take. Honestly, going forward, I kept kind of saying this today, I do have ideas on what I would do for this deck. And I am looking forward to kind of messing with this deck a little bit more. And I'm actually looking really forward to showing you guys like a couple of the different Rhinosect builds that I have for Hermes, because I think if there's any kind of decks that you guys would either both enjoy or rage about, those are going to be the decks that you guys are going to enjoy and or hate. So let me be the first to say that. For the Spirit decks, I had 12 Wind, 5 Lunar, 2 Earth, and 1 Frost. And the Frost is there for a specific reason. Now, I will say this. I learned I do not like Marble Spirits. In particularly, I do not like having Frost and Wind Marble Spirits in the same deck. It just happened that the reason I lost that last round, wholeheartedly, was I lost it 2-0 because game 1, I just couldn't draw into anything but 2 drops, and I ended up losing that game. But game 2, I could have actually won. I planned it out perfectly. I had 5 spirits left. I cast out a Penterror. I knew exactly that there was going to be a PTA set, and I knew I was baiting into the PTA. I put out, and I was like, okay. I looked at my spirits, and I fanned it out quickly. But when looking at these spirits and trying to get it, the coloration of the border of Frost and Wind looks so similar that I didn't realize that Frost and Wind were in my deck. I thought they were 2 Wind. So it's on me, 100%. I'm taking full blame for this loss. However, because of the coloration of the marbling of Frost and Wind, their grays are so similar. I hate it. I hate them. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love how they look. But I cannot ever play a deck where Frost and Wind are in the same deck together, where there are Marble Spirits. And sadly, because of that, and it's just OCD for me. So at this point, I'm going to need to change up how these spirits look, if I want to, like, work around this. Because of that, like, I literally did not realize that. And when I went to go use Dracodoodle's effect, I went to my spirit deck, and it was literally this. I went, okay, go. I grab Lycra's Flare Mine. Like, I literally just, boom. And was, oh my god. I didn't have enough spirits. I didn't have the correct spirits to do the effect. I lost. And that's how I lost game 2. And I was like, you know what, I don't even want to see if I could play out the rest of the rounds. Like, I probably could have won a couple more rounds or whatever. I didn't even want to. I didn't want to see. Because I was like, you know what, I wanted to edit the video today that I released. So I edited that video and released it. I wanted to kind of get this video set up. I wanted to like kind of clear my head and think like, okay, like what could I do to edit this deck? So there were things I wanted to get done. And of course, you know, just get food. But, you know, overall, knowing that like that's on me, if I had seen, you know, that earlier in the game, I would not have made that mistake, and knowing that, I would have been able to bring that to a game 3. But going into the side deck, and this is, you know, bringing this back to the deck list, the side deck, this is where it gets spicy. Snowlet. Yes. It literally is a Blistrix smokescreen. I love Blistrix smokescreens. Solely off the fact that, remember, Dracodoodle Champ says that when your Cockadoodle gets sent to the underworld, so part of this, the sideboard is upping the number of Cockadoodles and boulders, just to be able to cycle back more stuff. So part of the logic behind this is, A, Blistrix does not need to be milled off of Aspharal. It just needs to get sent. So if you open up a Hermes and an Aspharal, or like 2 Hermes and an Aspharal, then you can go like Hermes get like Hermes gets you Carrion, Ascend Aspharal, second Hermes gets you Blistrix. Or you go Snowlet, Snowlet sends Aspharal, go Ascend into Aspharal, Hermes gets you Blistrix. Like, so that logic is there, and so because of the fact that you are milling with those effects as well, the logic is like you can theoretically also get free advantage and plus with your Cockadoodle Dracodoodle engine and just get a free summon. Something that people were doing kind of with the Cedar Source back in the day. So just kind of getting that to relive that. And then the last bit of the side deck is upping the number of Frost Spirits in the sideboard. Just upping it, bringing it up to 3 more, so you're getting 4 total when you bring this smokescreen in. Overall, when I brought this smokescreen in, the deck did not falter as well. The deck did really well with this. It was kind of funny whenever I did bring this in. Again, it is a hit or miss because it is Blizz. You either hit everything or you don't. Like, there was a game where I Sisyphus's Boulder and milled both my Ambrosias off of the Sisyphus's Boulder. And I was just like, well, I'm on a timer. And I lost because of it. So it really is what it is. I can't be upset by that. Like it really just, like, it is what it is. And I'm just gonna continue saying that, like, as many times because of the fact that Blistrix truly is just a card of all cards. It is a line of all lines. I think one game today, I had opened up Snowlet and Hermes. I go Snowlet, and I went turn 2. So, turn 1, my opponent did whatever. I go Snowlet, Snowlet goes in, Mills, gets Aspharal, Aspharal effect, get Blistrix. I didn't even need my Hermes. And literally, from that effect, I go Blistrix effect, they daze me with Dio's Madness, and I'm like, okay, destroy the other face down. And then Hermes effect to destroy the Alestral Unveiled with Carry Off. And then just from there, I took the game by storm. So, like, this sideboard alone gave me an idea for a whole other deck idea. So if I wanted to separate the main deck into a main and sideboard and like just separate them into 2 different smoke screens, and then make this its own separate deck, 100%, like I honestly would want to see that and make that too. So, you know, I'm really curious to see like what comes from today, because of the fact that like this is definitely a really interesting idea of like what could I make from today. I really just was messing around. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and the fact that like from today I got the idea of, oh, I could really build like a funny haha Blistrix smokescreen, or hey, just from funny locals I was able to make a Pentar and Fulgorix work in the same deck, but it was like, you know, it works and you can threaten both in the same deck, and you don't technically see all the 2-drops all in one. And then today was like the only day I ever got to see all the 2-drops drawn in succession. So I was like, dang, that really did stink. But again, I wanted to make this deck list for you guys because I thought like this was such an interesting idea, and I wanted to get this out to you guys. So, you know, if you guys had any ideas on this deck, please let me know, because I also have ideas for this deck, and like in this like format too, like in how this deck is built as is, I have ideas on how to alter it and make it a little bit more consistent, but I also have ideas for them as separate decks. And, you know, if you guys have any ideas, or let me know as well, like, what do you guys think about the deck? And going into the next couple weeks until Sunstrike releases, you know, what are you guys thinking about this format? And what did you like about this premiere? But let me know. And, you know, hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.